Welcome to the Metabolic Maestro podcast, where we help you orchestrate your metabolism one note at a time. This is episode 3, Inside the Mitochondria, Electrons, Oxygen, and the Price of Life. I'm Kathleen, a synthesized voice Bob has chosen to host his podcast. Welcome back to the Metabolic Orchestra series. In the last episode, we talked about adenosine triphosphate ATP, how fragile it is, how fast it disappears, and how creatine protects it. Today we go deeper. We're going inside the mitochondria. This is where food becomes electricity, where oxygen earns its keep, and where life pays its energy bill. Part 1. Why mitochondria exist. Early life didn't use oxygen. Oxygen was toxic. Then something remarkable happened. A larger cell absorbed a smaller one. Instead of digesting it, it formed a partnership. That smaller cell became the mitochondrion. It specialized in managing oxygen safely while extracting energy efficiently. Every mitochondrion in your body is a descendant of that ancient alliance. Part 2. Mitochondria are not just power plants. Calling mitochondria power plants is incomplete. They also regulate cell death, inflammation, hormone signaling, calcium balance, and redox state. Mitochondria decide whether a cell adapts or self-destructs. Energy is only one part of the story. Part 3. What enters the mitochondria? Mitochondria don't burn calories, they handle electrons. Those electrons arrive mainly from glucose, via glycolysis, fatty acids, via beta oxidation, amino acids, selectively. These pathways converge into two key molecules: nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, reduced form NADH, and flavin adenine dinucleotide, reduced form FADH2. These are electron carriers. They don't store energy, they store high-energy electrons. Part 4. The electron transport chain. The electron transport chain is found in the inner mitochondrial membrane. It has 5 major complexes. Think of them as stations. Electrons move from one station to the next, dropping energy along the way. That energy is not wasted, it pumps protons. Part 5. Proton gradients. Life's battery. As electrons move through the chain, protons are pumped out of the mitochondrial matrix. This creates 2 gradients, a chemical gradient and an electrical gradient. Together, this is called the proton motive force. This gradient is the real battery, not ATP. Part 6. ATP synthase. The molecular turbine. Protons want to flow back into the mitochondrial matrix, the innermost compartment of the mitochondria. As they pass through ATP synthase channel across the inner mitochondrial membrane, ATP synthase literally spins the molecular turbine. That rotation forces ADP and phosphate together, adding the phosphate molecule to restore triphosphate, a bond which stores chemical energy that your cells can later release and use for work again. This is oxidative phosphorylation. Without spinning, there is no ATP. Part 7. Oxygen's role. Oxygen waits at the end of the chain to accept electrons. Without oxygen, electrons back up, the chain stalls, and ATP production collapses. This is why oxygen deprivation is immediately dangerous. Oxygen is not fuel, it's the electron sink. Part 8. Iron and copper. Silent essentials. Electrons don't move freely, they jump between metals. Iron and copper sit inside the electron transport complexes. Iron cycles between forms, copper does the same. Without these metals, electrons stall, ATP production slows, and oxidative stress rises. This is why iron deficiency causes fatigue long before anemia. Part 9. CoQ10, the mobile electron. Coenzyme Q10 moves electrons between complexes. It is lipid-soluble. It lives in membranes. Without enough CoQ10, electron flow becomes inefficient, leakage increases, reactive oxygen species rise. Statins reduce CoQ10 synthesis and can affect energy and muscle function. Part 10. Reactive oxygen species is not the enemy. Electrons sometimes escape. They form reactive oxygen species. This is not failure, it's signaling. Low levels of reactive oxygen species signal the cell to adapt, grow stronger, build defenses. But excess ROS creates an electron traffic jam, and antioxidant systems become overwhelmed. This is why balance matters. A small amount is good, but a large amount is not. Part 11. Redox balance. Redox means reduction and oxidation. ROS are highly reactive molecules derived from oxygen that form when oxygen is partially reduced. This happens during cellular respiration in mitochondria, where electrons occasionally leak from the electron transport chain and reduce O2. The main targets that lose electrons and are oxidized are cellular biomolecules such as lipids, proteins, and DNA. Excessive oxidative damage from ROS contributes to aging, cancer, neurodegeneration, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and inflammation. Electrons must move. If NADH piles up, the system stalls. If NAD+ is available, the flow resumes. This balance determines metabolic flexibility, fat burning capacity, inflammatory tone, aging speed, and whether mitochondria live or die by redox balance. Part 12. Why carbs and fats feel different. Carbohydrates flood the system with electrons quickly, but fats release electrons slowly. If mitochondrial capacity is low, carbohydrates overwhelm the chain, electrons leak, ROS increases, and energy feels chaotic. Fat metabolism is slower but cleaner. This is why metabolic health matters more than calorie count. Part 13. Magnesium returns. ATP synthase and antioxidant systems requires magnesium. This is why magnesium is vital and why magnesium deficiency creates a bottleneck everywhere. Magnesium improves energy, sleep, muscle relaxation, and improves stress tolerance. Just to be very clear, ATP synthase is complex 5 of oxidative phosphorylation. While complex 5 is often included in the electron transport chain, it's not technically part of the electron transport chain, ETC. The electron transport chain specifically refers to complexes 1 through 4, because they are electron carriers. ATP synthase uses the voltage gradient created by the ETC, and it's the last step in the oxidative phosphorylation, but it doesn't transport electrons. Complex 5 is the wheel that converts that pressure into usable energy, ATP. It's a mechanical converter powered by the protons that flow through it, which drives the rotor to spin, and that spinning catalyzes the phosphorylation of ADP into ATP. Complex 5 is literally a turbine. Proton flow spins it, and that rotation forges ADP and phosphate into ATP. Isn't that amazing? Part 14. Mitochondria and aging. With age, membranes stiffen and CoQ10 declines, iron handling becomes dysregulated. While redox balance worsens, energy doesn't vanish, it just loses efficiency. Supporting mitochondria is about maintaining bioenergetic efficiency. In closing, we've learned that mitochondria don't burn food, they manage electrons. ATP is the result, not the goal. When electrons flow smoothly, energy feels effortless. In the next episode, we'll explore the molecules, glycine and taurine, that calm the system, and how cells prevent overload. Until then, health is not about forcing energy, it's about letting electrons move.